Okay guys, in this tutorial we're gonna answer a couple of basic questions. First question, if you ever forget how you're going to know where your files and folders are? Well, LearnJ is a folder, src is a folder, and main.java is this file, okay, main.java. You also have same information in upper left corner. Eclipse workspace is a folder where you do have LearnJ and src as a folders and main as a Java file. Right, can you see that somehow else? Yes, right click on LearnJ, go to properties, and there you go. When you click on resource, you see that specific path for your project, type of it is a project, and actual location is here, I mean full path. So yes, you can click on this button and your files and folders will be in System Explorer. Okay, there you go. Here we are inside the Eclipse workspace. Okay, let's go into LearnJ, and we have that src, which is this thing right here, and also bin folder. In here we have classes, main.class. So let's get into here, main.class. So let's open it to see what we have there. Well, right click in my case and edit with Notepad++, because why not? I have it on my system, and let's see what kind of gibberish we have. So that's cool. This is something that Java is doing for us. Some file that is needed for application to work. Okay, so let's get out from here. So another thing, can we get from here into DOS, like into console? Well, yes, LearnJ and show in local terminal, or git bash in my case, bash. So let's click here on terminal, and down there you go, we are in root, I'm in root of my drive, users, user folder, Eclipse workspace, there you go, same stuff, and LearnJ is our project. If we say cd ... we will go one level back. So dir and metadata and LearnJ as primary project up till now. So let's get again into it. cd learn j dir, and we have, if you remember, bin and src. So same stuff here as in when we are using Explorer a couple of seconds ago. cd bin, and here we have class. There you go, main.class. Let's go one level back, cd ... dir and src. cd src. cd means change directory. I mean, if you wanna be proficient with programming, you need to know DOS and how to work in terminal, definitely. So cd src, and in here we do have main.java, which is our file. Okay, so much about paths. Right, save. Let's test that one more time, and here we do have output, which is actually console. There you go, console. Now, what this public means? Every time in programming when you see public, we're talking about access modifiers. But that basically means that whatever is public, it is available to the rest of the code. So with some other part of the code, you can get into here and use it. Okay, there are ways sorry, how to protect things, and we will learn about that in future tutorials. Class is a wrapper. It's like a container where you're gonna put your source code. So you can think about that as a template, as a boundary, as a country where you have population. In any case, think about that as something general where you're gonna have smaller stuff. Now, every country do have a name, let's say, and also your classes need to have names. In this case, main is a name of our class, which is the same name for our Java file. Now, what's going to happen if we set this m to be lowercase? M, save, and see problems. Okay, already problems. We cannot run this now. Okay, run and problem. So proceed, could not find or load main class main because it doesn't exist. Okay, so what we need to do is just to revert to normal operation. M, uppercase. Run. There you go, thing works. So bottom line, classes are wrappers around the rest of the very detailed source code. And what is this and why do we need it? Well, this is opening curly bracket, and down there we need closing curly bracket. So to set things, to separate things, we're gonna use brackets. For example, here we are using curly brackets to separate these instructions, and in here we are using normal parentheses to say from where is the start and where is the end. In this case, this is a place where we're gonna put additional things. Now those additional things will be grabbed by this main, which is method, which is a function. So the task of method is to grab these things and do something with it. And we're gonna learn how to provide to these methods those different things. Bottom line, you need opening bracket and closing bracket for every passus, let's say, of instructions. Same stuff here, but these brackets are for this method, and this is a method. So this is a class, okay, starting bracket, and this is a main, starting bracket and closing curly bracket. Okay, so static. Why do we need to have static when we are talking about main method? Well, every time, in Java you must have a static method because otherwise the thing will not work. So for this method you must use static keyword, which is a part of Java. If you remove it and if you save and run this thing, we're gonna end up into problem. Main method is not static in class main. Please define the main method as public static void, so you have direct explanation what you need to do. So main method must be with a static on the left side. Okay, do use static for main. Void, what is that? Well, every time when you see void, 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 and you wanna run into these things all the time in programming, that means that that method, and this is a method, will do something directly. It will do something immediately and you're gonna see the results. Now this is instruction that will produce direct results on a screen down there. So this is one type of method or function. Now there are other methods or functions, absolutely same stuff, just different terminology, that will produce some result, and those methods will pass that result all around your application, so that other methods can grab those things and do something with it. But then in that case you will not use void on the left side of main. You will use integer or float, some data type. We're going to talk about data types. So when you have direct operation instruction with void, that means something will be presented in a screen, in a console. See, console. And if you see here int or char or string or something else, then that method will produce some kind of results and pass it around in application. Okay, so that's a very short story about that. Now, as I said multiple times up till now, in here between the normal parentheses, all these things that you provide here, individual strings, characters, numbers, negative numbers, whatever. So these things are there because these other instructions down there can grab it and do something with it, either directly on a screen, or you're gonna have some kind of results, and that result will be available to rest of the application. So here is a place for parameters or arguments. We're gonna talk about terminology too. Okay, so where you can find more about, for example, what this string is? Well, you can hover over it, or you can right click and open declaration, and then you will have a bunch of source code and explanations about that specific class, method, data type, and so on. But in all modern editors, working environments, you have that option to do right click on something and go to more explanations. Same stuff for this system. What is this system anyway? Well, it is a class. So see, this is explanation. The system class contains several useful fields and methods. Okay, fields and methods. Among those facilities, options provided by the system class are standard input, output, and error output streams. Basically, when you say system, you're grabbing a bunch of options, and then you need to target what kind of very precise options you need. For example, down there, when you say system, you're gonna have drop down all these options. Now if you need this out, you can type it manually or you can find it down there right here. Okay, and then again dot, and then you're running into another drop down. These things, they are methods. Methods will do specific things and then they will stop. So methods are like workers in company. They will do something and then they will stop, and they will provide either direct result on a screen or they will provide some intermediary unfinished result so that other methods can grab it and do something with it. So all these things here are methods, 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 methods. So in normal, let's say, programming, we are using the terminology function for this or that, but because we are into object-oriented approach, we are working with classes, we are using term methods or functions. So this is a method, this is a method, and everything here after dot is just method, method, method. Okay, that will do something. And every time when you're clicking on specific method, immediately you're gonna have like these normal parentheses with semicolon at the end. Why do we need to have semicolon? Because this is one dedicated instruction, and every time when you're closing instruction you need to use semicolon, and you don't need to remember this. You're gonna get familiar with this over time. You're gonna recognize stuff. So let me repeat. System dot will provide you option to talk about input, output, and some general things in this case. So if you choose, for example, output from drop down, then bunch of methods, and we are going to choose again print ln, and we're gonna type something more. Something more. Now this is individual instruction, so this is a method, and we need to close this with some semicolon. Okay, the moment when you do that, this out will become italic and blue, well, at least in Eclipse in Java. So let's run this again, and we will have one line after another, because print ln means basically print that string, and this is a string, and then go to next line. Okay, and now down there you're gonna have two lines with different strings. String is a bunch of characters connected together. Okay, there you go. Also, there is a very simple method which is just print, but print will not go to next line. It will just have everything on one line. Let me explain that. And also here I'm gonna use comment. So when you see // that's a comment, and that thing will be used to explain to yourself or to other programmers what specific part of the code will do. This will not be executed, but it will be in your source code. Now, no errors here will be produced because of that comment. Everything will be totally fine. There you go. So comments are explanations. Okay, let's go to next line. System class dot out is a target. Out means output stream. Okay, output stream is just console here. So right click on out and open declarations, and then you can find about that more. The standard error output stream. The stream is already open and ready to accept output data. So think about out as terminal, as console, right? So we're gonna print the output this time with the help of print method something first thing, let's say. First thing, okay, and we're gonna also grab this stuff and pass it down there again, but this time the target will be second string. As a material we are working with, actually print method is grabbing this stuff and then doing something in the background. But this time, these things, because this is a dedicated method, different than these methods here, these things will be concatenated, because this is a job of this method. So I mean, it's not real concatenation, it is just not going to next line as with these methods. So run, and there you go. See, first thing, second thing. Can you mix print line and print between each other? Sure, yes. So let's grab, I don't know, this one, and let's copy it down there. And then let's change this to some kind of stupid header. something that will look like a header like that, and it will work. So you can mix methods. Okay, run, and there you go. But these things are concatenated because this print method will just use one line, and then this method will flush things down there. So there is a difference. Okay, if you say print ln without any kind of things here, the result will be just emulation, going to next line. So can you use empty brackets here for print? Well, yes. The question is, just a second. Unresolved compilation problem for method print boolean, the type print scheme is not acceptable for the argument. Oh yeah, so here you need to use some kind of arguments like that. Okay, for print you must use some kind of arguments, and for print ln you don't have to. So this will work fine, and if you don't use it, it will not work for print method. Okay, let me test that one more time. There you go, problem. But the moment when you say print ln without any kind of parameters, that will work. Guys, don't try to memorize these things. You're gonna run into this all the time. You're gonna memorize that. Don't worry about that. Don't just try to memorize these things. If this is complicated, don't worry. Just delete it, and roll with print line, print line, print line. Print line means flush things down there for a one line. Okay, I'm gonna definitely shut up. Now you know what public access modifier is. Now you know what is a comment. Why do you need to have static for a main? What is difference between a main here and main here? This is a class, this is a method, this is a void, which means direct operation. This is a place where you're gonna put parameters, additional material for methods. This is a class, you know about drop down. This is a target, additional material. So yeah, whatever, just open it and close it down there and follow a specific order. Don't forget to close your individual instructions with semicolon, and you're gonna be fine. Don't worry, if you mess something up, your Eclipse will inform you about that. Okay, so that was a long tutorial. Sorry about that, but I'm definitely sure that you know what I'm talking about here. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next one. Ciao.